So, I thought that we were done blowing these 2-goal leads, I thought that when we got new management, this would change. New players. James Neal's out there to take a dumb penalty. Fleury wasn't even playing. Nope. Penguins play 2 games back-to-back and lose them both. They managed to salvage a point out of the second game against Detroit, but they were winning 3-1, and with 2.5 minutes left, Mike Babcock pulls Jimmy Howard. Detroit then scores 1 goal, another goal a minute later, and then scores the winning goal in overtime on just an abdicator shot. 3 goals in 3 minutes. For 57 minutes, the Penguins played a solid hockey game. Their power play did not score, but Detroit has a very good penalty kill led by ex-Penguins assistant coach Tony Granato. Thomas Greiss, I thought, looked solid in that in his Penguins debut. He had his positioning down pat. He was very calm back there. A very different sort of game from Marc-Andre Fleury, which I thought was welcome. He didn't have a chance in any of the goals, and then they took their foot off the gas. When you have a team down by the throat, especially a team coached by Mike Babcock, the best coach in the league, bar none, you keep them down. You step on their throats and keep them down. Sorry for a violent analogy, but that is just what I always learned. But the Penguins, time and time again, failed to do this. They failed against Dallas, they failed against New York, and they failed again yesterday. You cannot keep doing this. When are they going to learn? After the game, Crosby said, we keep saying it. We keep saying we're going to fix it. We haven't fixed it. We need to learn from it. When? When is this going to happen? Because it's 2014. This has been a problem arguably since 2012, since they blew that lead to Philadelphia, and that team just hasn't seemed right since then. You know, they can't beat the Flyers at home, and they can't keep a lead. I don't know what it is, man. This team. So if you're a Penguins fan today, you're either saying that, or you're saying this. Well, the Penguins did lose 2 games in a row, but they're under a new coach, and they did not play very well the first game against Philadelphia, and they usually do not play well against them in their own building. But on the other hand, they did not lose their cool. They did not have any really crazy shenanigans in that game, which was a welcome change. And against Detroit, they played them hard for 57 minutes. They lost in 3 minutes against 2 of the top players in the league still, in Henrik Zetterberg and Pavel Datsyuk. I mean, those goals, like that goal by Kronwall was ridiculous. That shot by Zetterberg was perfect. Like, you can't stop that. And like that pass from Denny to Kaiser was absolutely perfect. They played a good game up until the last 3 minutes. The penalty kill was fantastic again. They're now, I think, they've 12 for 12 or something like that. They've killed off every single penalty leading back to, I think, 2 or 3 games now. Yes, their power play is 0 for 2, but it's still tops in the league. I'm not really too worried about it. They made adjustments to the penalty kill, got that fixed up. I'm sure they'll make adjustments to their power play before tomorrow. It's not like they did not have chances. They had some good chances in this game, better than the last game. Crosby had some chances. Detroit just has a good penalty kill, and they don't take a lot of power plays. So, you know, that's that. Jimmy Howard's a very good goaltender as well, although I did think he's outplayed by Greiss in this one. But yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh, I thought, outplayed Detroit for most of the game. Crosby did not have his best game twice in a row, which I thought was strange. He did not look Crosby-esque. He had a shot coming out of a breakaway. If he scores in that shot, you know, Penguins win. He shot it through the 5-hole, which he usually likes to do. Jimmy Howard made a good save. You know, like, these things happen. Either way, you can't get too up and you can't get too down. The one thing I will say is that the veterans have got to step it up. Crosby did not play well 2 games in a row, which does not happen very often for him, and that is why they lost both games, because when he doesn't get a point, the team doesn't win. Last year, they only won 3 games all season when he didn't get a point. And this year, while the depth is different, they still don't have a fourth line. They play about 6 minutes a game. I'm sorry, but Zach Sill's terrible. I read a stat today that mentioned that he did not have a shot on goal until like the last game, and it was a terrible shot. Like, that can't be your fourth line. Craig Adams and Rob Scuderi are still killing penalties. Marcel Goc is such a good, underrated player, and they are bringing him down so much, and you're relying so much on Crosby and so much on Malkin, and yes, their minutes are down, but they basically go as Crosby goes. If he doesn't get a point, it's unlikely they're going to win. It's not like he played bad, but he did not play a typical Sidney Crosby game, which, I mean, it's hard to do night in and out because he's amazing. Malkin, I thought, looked fantastic. Finally back to center. Although I don't like him with Como. I don't think Como should be there. Bo Bennett will definitely be on his wing when he gets back soon, and that will again help with some of the depth. Como will be bumped down to the third line. Spalling will be back down to the fourth line, where I think he's much more effective. And one of Zach Silla, Craig Adams, will hopefully be bumped out because those guys are an absolute gong show. Andrew Abbott is sitting in the press box. Like, I don't know why you can't use him. I mean, he's sort of an effective depth guy. I would have liked to see Scott Harrington in for Simon Dupre. I thought he really struggled against Philadelphia, and they keep sending it out, keep sending it down. It's like a freaking jigsaw puzzle. Like, they're sending him down to Wilkes-Barre to get some playing time, but they're sending him out to Pittsburgh to beat the team. Like, make up your mind what you want to do with him. Like, it's very confusing. But I thought Simon Dupre did bounce back nicely. Paul Martin got burned, absolutely burned on that last goal. He got just totally walked right around, and he's now actually taken off the second power play unit. Ole Mata played most of the game on that second power play. He had a fantastic game. He does not look like a second-year player. Oh, he is going to be so good. So good. He's already ridiculous. And he did not beat a chump either. He beat Pavel Datsyuk when he scored, so pretty impressive. Letang had another strong game. I like to see a bounce-back game from him. What I thought was most telling about Letang in this game and how far he's come, and just in his maturity alone, was when he got hit by Applicator in the first period. And normal Chris Letang would go crazy. He'd retaliate, he'd fight back, and he just walked away and he plays some defense. But bravo Chris Letang, because that shows his maturity as a player, and that is Letang we need to see, because he's not helping us in the penalty box. He's helping us on the ice. Crosby took a dumb penalty, interfering with Zetterberg. Like, really, come on, Sid. Like, we talk about how James Neal took penalties of that all the time, yet there's Neal getting a hat-trick in Nashville, a natural hat-trick, and there you are taking penalties. I mean, come on, Sid, smart enough. They did get a point out of it, but they deserved more. Greiss deserved more. I thought he was very good in the net. He had no chance in any of those goals. In other news that was happier, I live in Canada, and as you may know, we were recently rocked with the national tragedy, and I thought what the Penguins did was absolutely first class. This happened on Wednesday. They were playing the Flyers, a team that they hate. They weren't even playing a Canadian team, yet they performed O Canada before the game anyways. They had their anthem singer, Jeff Jimerson, sing O Canada. They had the words up on the scoreboard. I'm sure you've all seen this by now. And they had the colors of Canada on the ice. And it was retweeted everywhere across the world. A writer from Sportsnet who's actually going to go to Buffalo to watch Connor McDavid drove the extra 4 hours to Pittsburgh just to see the ceremony. It was absolutely beautiful. It really touched me as Canadian and all of Canada, and tweets were just pouring in. People were calling in to give their thanks everywhere to Pittsburgh, and other teams have tried it, and it hasn't been as good because, you know, Pittsburgh's the best, and they did it first, and the crowd was singing along, and it was amazing. So thank you, Pittsburgh. That was an amazing gesture. It was very beautiful. And Detroit, again, did the same thing the next night. So Pittsburgh, back-to-back nights, was part of something very special and very important. It's nice to know we have that support. Anyways, yeah, that's all for this one. Please like if you like this video. Subscribe if you really like it. Again, sorry it's late. I've just been really busy. And I'll see you tomorrow when we go to Nashville and take on James the Real Deal Neal and the Predators. Him and Hornqvist should score all the goals. All the goals.